What's up guys, Brendan Hancock here with another episode of Groove Subaru today, and today we have brought along 5 2019 Subaru Foresters, one of each trim level, to show you guys the difference in trims for the 2019 Forester. Let's go take a look. Now for 2019, the Subaru Forester has been completely redesigned. It is an all-new body style and is now on the famous global platform that many of our other vehicles are on. So the global platform, if you guys aren't familiar with it, it's rather modular in nature, which allows them to kind of widen it and elongate it to accommodate different sized vehicles. And a couple of the stats on that, it is not only a 70% more rigid chassis, but it has 40% better energy absorption and also 50% less body roll. So all of the vehicles that we've seen that are now built on this global platform are significantly more comfortable to drive, quieter on the inside, as well as safer in general, which, you know, we're not out here crashing them and stuff like that to test that personally, but the safety ratings definitely show that as well. Now, there are 5 trim levels for 2019 on the Forester. We have the 2.5i here, which we'll look at in a second. We have the premium trim level above that, the all-new Sport for 2019, and then we have the limited and touring there on the very end. So those are the 5 trim levels. You may notice one thing that is missing, and that is the turbocharged model. Now, for 2019, we have a slightly tuned version of the previous 2.5i engine, which has increased power a little bit, up to 182 horsepower. And we are still seeing excellent fuel economy at 33 miles per gallon on the highway, but no longer are we seeing any turbocharged ones, which is very, very sad. I do miss that. I love that Forester. My wife actually has one of those, but they really weren't selling. You know, we see a lot of them here in Colorado, but it was like 5% of overall Forester sales were turbos, so cost-wise didn't really make sense. But the nicest thing is that it's on the global platform now. It is super, super comfortable and quiet. So let's take a look at the different trim levels one by one, starting with the 2.5i. Now this is a 2.5i trim level, so some people like to call it the base model because it is, you know, at the bottom there, but it's got a lot of standard amenities now, and one thing that this has that is not necessarily standard is the alloy wheel package. So on a 2.5i Forester, standard is going to be a 17-inch steel wheel with hubcaps on it, which we very rarely see those. Most of them are going to be ordered with what is called the alloy wheel package, with what we see here. So we do have a 17-inch alloy rim here, and part of that package is going to also give you the roof rails that you see up top here, which I think it just kind of brings it together. It looks kind of naked without having those up top. Now, a couple cool things we are going to see that are standard now. We do have automatic headlights on the base with LED headlights here. So we don't have any fog lights, but we do have LED headlights, which is awesome. We have these LED daytime running lights there. So definitely nice to see that sort of higher end, even on a base model. A couple other things you're going to get on the base that were not previously there. You're also going to get eyesight. So we do have the eyesight safety system up here that's going to give you features such as pre-collision braking, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist. Now, it's not going to come standard with the blind spot detection. So you don't have the blind spot standard on this vehicle. It's technically different technology. The eyesight is using, you know, these 3D, you know, full color, sees everything, just kind of like a person would, whereas, you know, the blind spot detection, the rear cross traffic is actually using radar. So they are different systems. You could have one without the other, so on and so forth. But it's very nice to at least see that there for us. And we are also gonna have the newer head units. So on the base, we're gonna have the 6.5-inch Starlink touchscreen infotainment system, which is gonna come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, much better than the outgoing smaller 6.5, not smaller, but slower operating 6.5-inch screen that we were seeing on like an 18 WRX, for example. You are also going to get automatic climate control in here. This does obviously come standard with Subaru Symmetrical all-wheel drive, and being a Forester, 8.7 inches of ground clearance. So let's go take a look inside real quick. So we're sitting inside of the 2.5i Forester now, and one of the other things that I didn't mention yet that is new and is standard on all Foresters is going to be the inclusion of SI drive. So we've seen that previously on automatic WRXs, most famously on the STI, the Turbo Forester, and they're different driving modes that basically adjust throttle response. So no, we don't have a turbo, but we do have SI drive, which gives us the ability to put it into sport mode, which is going to increase our throttle response. You know, you're going to see the tachometer go up to a higher RPM before it shifts, which really makes it nice for, you know, getting onto the highway, climbing up the mountain and stuff, or just passing somebody on the highway. It just gives you a little bit of extra pep in your step. It doesn't feel like a turbo. It's not like it launches you in the back of your seat, but there's definitely a noticeable difference there, which is something that is very welcome for sure, given that we don't have a turbo option. Now this is the 6.5-inch screen that we've had here. We do also have an 8-inch screen, although not available on this trim level. But it is going to come standard with apps such as Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, meaning that you can get navigation right up here on your screen. You can also use Google Voice and Siri to send text messages, put an address in for navigation, make phone calls, play your music from your phone, things of that nature. It's definitely a much faster, quicker operating system than it used to be previously. We are also going to see Sirius XM radios standard, which will come with that travel link to give you weather, gas prices, stocks, and sports scores as well. Now, if we do look down here, we do not have X mode on the base model, which is our off-roading mode. We'll show you that when we take a hop in the premium. But down here, we do have an electric parking brake now, where we used to have the manual. And other than that, not tons of crazy stuff. I mean, this is definitely looking more like the other global platform cars. If you've been in like an Ascent, especially, this has a very similar vibe. The cars are getting more and more similar as they're being added to the global platform in terms of interior trim and everything. Now this is going to be the base cloth that we have here. It is kind of a two-tone color, and we do have definitely much more prominent stitching patterns in here, which do give it a nice sort of elegant feel to it. We do have mildly soft touch surfaces here. We don't have the extended, armrest here, which is nice, the one that slides forward. But overall, a very, very comfortable place to be. And this is a great car for drivers that are both tall and short. There's a huge level of adjustability in terms of raising the seat height, and visibility both out of the sides and out of the front is very, very good in this vehicle. Now this is going to be the 2.5i premium trim level. It's one step up above the base, and this is really where the trim level where you're able to sort of customize a little bit. It has 4 different option packages you can get, which I'll get into in a second. This one in particular being option package 13. So we'll go over those option packages there, but a couple things you can spot on a premium right off the bat on the exterior. You're still going to have a very similar front. You're still going to have the LED automatic headlights here, but the wheel design, despite it also being a 17-inch alloy rim, it does have a different wheel design than on the base. Now we also are going to see the exterior colored mirrors here, so it's not just going to be black plastic. Whatever the body color is, it's going to be up here. Now it is going to be black on the bottom, just so you're aware of that, which might be a little bit hard to see with this color, but if it was blue, for example, you'd notice the separation there. Now you're also going to get the roof rails are going to be standard on the premium. You're going to get a moon roof, which is an awesome panoramic moon roof. And you're also going to get the privacy glass on the back here. So the front windows are not tinted, the rear ones are. But the nice thing is it's very common for people to do what's called a tint match, where they're going to just tint the front ones to match the back. Obviously a lot less expensive than having to tint all the windows, which is nice that way. In terms of other exterior stuff that's different, you are going to get a spoiler starting on the premium. That's going to go all the way to all the different trim levels all the way up. With that rear spoiler, you have a little bit more of a rounded one on the outside. Now, in terms of one of the features I did not mention that all Foresters do have, though, is the auto start stop feature. It's new for 2019 on the Forester. This is the first vehicle we've seen to actually have it. Had some mixed reviews on it. Some people like it, some people don't. One thing is you do need to turn it off every time, but I've been seeing drastically different fuel savings from customer to customer that I've looked at when I've seen how far they've driven versus how much it's saved. People that are doing a lot more bumper-to-bumper traffic and stuff are going to obviously see a lot more fuel savings and emission savings obviously there as well. Now, a couple other things on the premium. We're going to have the same 6.5-inch touchscreen infotainment system that's going to come standard. And the things that come standard on option package 11, which would be the just basic premium, are going to be all the exterior things that we just talked about. Still going to get the automatic climate control, the 6.5-inch touchscreen, the same one on the base, but you're going to get X mode on this vehicle. And X mode is our off-roading mode. So that's going to be used for going up or down steep, rocky, bumpy, kind of icy roads, things of that nature. It's used for very slow speeds, under 18 miles an hour. And it has a throttle control management property that helps prevent slippage and send power to the wheels with better traction. It also has a feature called hill descent control, where it will actually use the traction stability control to brake for you as you're going downhill. So awesome feature. It's weird setup. We'll take a look on it inside. It's the only Forester that has it set up this way. Most of them that have X mode have like a snow and dirt mode, which is just basically regular X mode. And then they have a deep snow and mud mode, which we'll see in the higher trims, which is basically X mode with traction control turned off. This one decided to somehow, for some reason, push to activate X mode and twist to the left to do traction control. I don't know why they wouldn't just keep it similar, like the same on all the trim levels. I don't know. But all premium trim levels are going to have the X mode feature. They're also going to have the Starlink safety and security system, which is our telematics system. So that's going to be the blue I button, which is for roadside, so it's going to tell them exactly where you are. And the red SOS button calls a different call setting that has the ability to send like police, fire truck, ambulance, things like that. That's if you are in a car accident, or you're watching someone to rob a bank, or you're having a heart attack, something something like that. So definitely a nice safety feature, something I do really wish was in even the base model. Since it already has eyesight, why not? Other things you're going to get in the back, you will get a center armrest with 2 cup holders in it. The seats in the back also will recline on the premium trim level. So in terms of stuff on the outside features, that's pretty much it. But let's just go take a quick look inside, kind of see what's different on the premium versus the 2.5. All right, so this is inside of the 2.5i Premium, and this one in particular is option package 13. So when I was talking about option package 11, that's everything that is standard on a premium trim level. Now, option package 13 is a much more popular trim level, and basically everything looks the same. However, you're going to get the all-weather package, which is going to give you these heated seats here, and it's also going to give you, when you push this button, it's going to heat the side mirrors, the rear defroster, and also the base of the front windshield. So technically, the all-weather package is not a standard feature, but I would say, at least in the cold states where I've always lived, almost all of the premiums that are ordered are going to be option package 13 at the minimum. Now, other things that I talked about, you're going to get the same 6.5-inch screen here. So this is pretty much the same as the base. You still get the automatic climate control and everything here. This is all going to be the same since eyesight is standard, so really no changes there. Automatic headlights. This is going to pretty much all be the same. Now, this is the Starlink safety and security system I mentioned. So the blue eye button, like I said, for roadside, SOS for more emergency situations. And that's actually going to be free for 3 years on the Forester. So all the cars that are on the global platform, the Ascent, the Crosstrek, the Impreza, those are all going to get the Starlink for free for up to for 3 years, which is pretty great. It used to just be 1 year and still is on Outbacks and Legacies. Now, we don't have the paddle shifters on this, nor on the base, so we just have the low gear here. And like I said, we have the reclining rear seats and also the cup holders in the back and everything there. Now, they call this premium cloth. I don't tend to notice too much of a difference here, honestly, between the base and the premium. I think it's just because it's a premium trim level, they call it that. But the biggest thing here, the moonroof, standard on all premium Foresters. Absolutely love it. It is massive. It opens up all the way, which is really nice. And a couple of the other options that you can get on this, on a premium trim level, would be option package 14, which is going to give you the all-weather package, but is also going to give you blind spot detection, rear cross traffic alert, and also keyless entry and push to start. And then if you opt for option package 15, that is going to give you all of that, plus the automatic rear liftgate. So this one does not have the liftgate, but that is an option on option package 15 premium. All premium Foresters also come with a 10-way power adjustable driver's seat. Now, this is the all-new 2019 Forester Sport, which is a new trim level for 2019 and is really situated in between a premium and a limited trim level in terms of features and amenities. Now, in terms of its overall styling, much sportier look to it, very limited in terms of actual performance upgrades. It does have a Sport Tune suspension. It does also have a better SI drive system, so it does have Sport Sharp, which is a little bit better throttle response than Sport. But other than that, mostly this is going to be cosmetic styling cues that are giving it the Sport name. Now, a couple things that would come standard. There are 3 option packages with a Forester Sport. You have option package 21, 22, and 24. 21 is just going to give you everything that comes standard on a Forester Sport. So a couple of those things are going to be the 18-inch black alloy rims that you see here, a specific design only found on the Forester Sport. You're also going to get the turn signals here in the side mirrors. And also we're going to get some stylistic cues up here with these accents that are both kind of like an orange-red sort of color. So we're going to see that here. We'll see a little bit of that on the back and also throughout the interior, really giving it a nice high-contrast, sporty look to it. Now, the other things we're going to see up here that are standard on all Forester Sports, we're going to see these nice LED fog lights that we see here. I love this design, actually, quite a bit more than even the circular ones that we're going to see on a limited and touring trims. And we're also going to get this nice sort of black front grille. Instead of this being a chrome color, it's all blacked out there. Definitely a much sportier look. Now, similar features here with the tint, the tint in the back, same on the premium. Everything from the premium up is going to have that. And we do still have the spoiler here, although it's a different spoiler on the Sport. Just has a little bit more black here to kind of give it, again, that high contrast. And we're also going to see black across the back here instead of either body color or chrome like we do see on the touring trim level. Now, the other thing that's going to come standard on a Forester Sport, you are going to get the two-type, X mode feature where you have deep snow and mud and snow and dirt mode. So you just have 2 quick, easy, different modes. The snow and dirt is just regular X mode for, dry conditions, going up a trail to a cabin or something. And deep snow and mud is regular X mode with traction control turned off to allow for some wheel spin in order to get yourself out of sticky situations there if you're in deep snow. Now, all Forester Sports are also going to come with paddle shifters, which is really nice. Definitely gives you more control, especially coming down the mountains or something like that. And a couple of the different option packages you can get here. So 22, which is what this is, gives you a few upgrades both inside and out. So we're gonna see blind spot detection on this being an option 22. We'll see a rear cross traffic alert, reverse automatic braking, and as well as the 8-inch Starlink touchscreen infotainment system. Now the 8-inch screen is a huge, huge upgrade. We'll take a look at it when we get inside, but I love it because it has Wi-Fi on it, meaning that you can connect to your home's Wi-Fi and do software updates for your infotainment system just by pulling into your garage. Very, very convenient versus having to do it with a USB input there. Now, I did mention that the keyless access and push to start is standard, but that's what comes with option package 22, the rear cross traffic alert, all that. Now, option package 24 gives you all of that stuff, plus you'll get premium Harman Kardon sound system and also a power rear liftgate as well. Now, let's go take a look inside and see the awesome stylistic cues for the Forester Sport. So we're inside the Forester Sport, and as you can see, that sort of red-orange kind of sporty color is all throughout the inside. We're seeing this both on like the plastic cladding here, on the vents, we see it in the stitching all throughout, so it really kind of ties the interior together. I think I really like it quite a bit. And you're also gonna get this nice kind of two-tone color here on the inside. All the Forester Sports are gonna have this seat that you see here with a lighter gray on the inside, the kind of, I don't believe this to be real leather on the outside here, but and then the stitching here, that's that orange color as well. So definitely like that quite a bit. This is the X mode I was talking about, the dual mode X mode here, where you simply just twist it to the left for regular X mode if you're in light snow, or, I mean, really, I don't like when they call it snow and dirt because it makes people think, oh, there's an inch of snow on the ground, I need to turn X mode. This is for very slow speeds. This is for like under 18 miles an hour. So mostly you're gonna be using this going up dirt roads and trails and stuff. The deep snow and mud though, it's so much easier now than having to be like X mode, turn off traction control, like you used to have to do in the Forester. So they've definitely made it quite a bit easier. And then you just push it and it goes back in a normal driving mode. We see the different SI drive that we have over here with Sport Sharp, which is gonna definitely give you a little bit of that better acceleration there versus just regular Sport on the other Foresters. And with the paddle shifters here, definitely a lot more control with that sportier feel of a vehicle having those paddle shifters. We do see different climate control set up here. It does have just regular automatic climate control, but it's a different setup. This is how it used to be really on the 18 Foresters. They have a different design over there on the premium and the base models, but I like this. I think it's a little bit cleaner. It's not like a dial where you have to line up the fan speed and line up the mode to be at auto. This is much cleaner, much easier. The biggest thing though is the addition of the 8-inch touchscreen here, as well as the 6.2 inch screen up there. Much easier to use. I think it's faster, and like I said, it has Wi-Fi on there. So you're also gonna get the ability, like I said, with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I just really like the bigger screen. The 6.5 just, it's a huge step up from the previous smaller screen that they used to have, but it's nothing compared to this one. I like it a lot more. You're also gonna get the screen up here, which you can control with this info button on the steering wheel, which just gives you a bunch of extra options, such as seeing miles till empty. You can see your oil temperature, you can see weather, what's on the radio, all sorts of stuff up there. It's just a nice kind of, makes you feel like you're sitting in a car with a lot of technology, which I like. For the most part though, other than that, a lot of the features very similar to what's on the premium. It's just a different styling with the seating and the stitching and stuff like that. Now this is the 2.5i limited trim level. It's the second from the top here. And I always like to remember limited leather, because this is going to be the first trim level that enters leather into the equation for the seating surfaces. Now a couple other things that you're going to get on this, you are going to get standard 18-inch alloy rims that you see here. We do still have the body colored side mirrors, and the turn signals are standard just like on the Sport. And then as we go up front here, we're going to get, this is where we start to get a little chromy, as I say. So you're going to have the chrome here that you have down by the fog lights, which are standard. You're also going to have steering responsive LED headlights standard on the limited trim level. So you can see, if you remember what the Sport we showed, definitely more chrome up here, not quite trying to go for that high contrast sporty look to it. In terms of that, on the outside, not a lot different here on the limited. We don't have the chrome on the bottom like we do on the Touring, but we do still have the fender here. It's just a little bit less black like we saw on the Sport, more body colored there. Now in terms of other things that are going to come standard on the Sport, we are going to get the larger 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system standard. You're going to get the blind spot rear cross traffic alert standard, and you're also going to get the keyless entry and push to start standard. This is going to have the same X mode system that we saw on the Sport with the dual mode, with the snow and dirt and deep snow and mud. And this is also going to come with dual climate control system, which is going to give you the ability to have basically different temperatures on either side of the cabin there. Now, a couple other options options that you have, this is option package 31. If you were to opt for a more upgraded version for option package 32, you would get everything that I just talked about there, but you would also get the premium sound system. So you'd get the Harman Kardon premium sound system. You'd also get the reverse automatic braking, as well as the built-in navigation that's from TomTom. Nowadays, I mean, it's nice to have that navigation, but we find a lot of our customers are really using the, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto to use other Waze or Google Maps. So most people are kind of going that way, but it is a nice backup option if you, for example, don't have unlimited data. It's a great feature to have. But let's go take a look inside. Now, in terms of the interior here, obviously with the trim and everything, it's quite a bit different than the Sport. But as for features and amenities in here, very, very similar to the one we just looked at. So same infotainment system screen here. All of this is going to be the same. This actually, I apologize, I said this was an option package 31. This is an option package 32, since I do have the built-in navigation that you see here, and we do have that Harman Kardon premium sound system. So a couple other things that do come standard. You do get the heated steering wheel, which, oh my God, thank God today. I did not think I was going to need gloves. That turned out to be incorrect. So you are going to get the heated steering wheel standard on all limiteds, as well as that auto rear lift gate as well. Now this doesn't have the paddle shifter, so we're going to see a low gear option down here, which basically is going to put the car into the lowest gearing option it can be in given your speed. But we do have a nice little leather surface down here. A lot more soft touch surfaces, with this all being leather as opposed to being that cloth that we saw in the other trims. Full leather seating surfaces, and there's a couple different color options. This is the lighter gray option with the two-tone, but some of the trims will give you black leather as some of the colors will give you black leather as an option there. As for the dual zone climate control, as I mentioned, nice to be able to have the ability to have, it'd be one temperature on that side, different temperature on this if people can't really agree on what they want there. But everything else up here, the eyesight, the blind spot, everything we've seen in the Forester Sport. This is just focusing a little bit more on the luxury element of it, far less on the sporty element that the Sport was looking at. So there's definitely still one level above this, which just comes standard with everything, with the whole shapoopy, and that's going to be the touring trim level. So let's go take a look at that. Now this is the absolute top of the line touring trim level of the 2019 Forester, and this has every possible thing you could have on a Subaru Forester, plus some things that aren't included on other trim levels or even optional. So a few things we'll see here on the outside. We can definitely spot a touring more easily than any other trim level, just due to all the chrome that it has on it. So it does have these nice satin chrome side mirrors up here, no matter what color it is, but we're gonna see the chrome here, also on the door handles as well as on the bottom. I'm not a huge chrome person, but I think on this black it actually works out quite nicely. Now we're also going to see these 18-inch alloy rims that you see here, and we are going to have the steering responsive LED headlights, and also we are going to have the fog lights down there as well. You can see chrome that carries over from the limited trim level that we just took a look at. So this is going to have everything. This is going to have leather seats. It even has the brown leather seat option. You can get a touring with black leather. But it is going to come with a larger infotainment system. It's going to have the built-in nav, the reverse automatic braking, the rear lift gate, everything that you could possibly have, keyless entry. Memory seats are also an option, are also standard on this, as well as the heated steering wheel. So as most of the trim levels have, we do have the 10-way power adjustable driver's seat, but for the first time on a Forester, we're seeing a 8-way power adjustable passenger seat, which is a much, much, much appreciated add-on there. It was kind of crazy, last year you'd have this like $38,000 Forester, and then it had a manual passenger seat. It seemed out of place, but they've definitely done a great job with this. The interior on this is immaculately beautiful. You're also going to get heated seats in the back on this trim level, which is awesome. So definitely a ton of stuff that isn't even really available on other trim levels. Really though, the highlight of this is on the inside, so let's go take a look. So as you guys can see, the interior on this is my absolute favorite. I'm a huge sucker for brown leather. Anything brown leather or British racing green is absolutely my jam. So I absolutely love the details here, even leather on the inside here, this nice satin chrome that we saw on those rear view mirrors there. Definitely does a nice contrast there, but in a much more luxurious way than like the black to white contrast we were looking at the Sport. So this does have very similar steering wheel as the other ones. For some reason I feel like, the Limited has a leather wrapped one. For some reason I just feel like this is nicer. There's probably no difference, but I like it. Maybe I'm just surrounded by all the other cool stuff in it, so maybe it's messing with my head there a little bit, but the heated steering wheel, very welcome to add on there. And then we also, on this one, are going to have the paddle shifters that we saw in the Sport. So the Limited doesn't have those. It's just the Sport and the Touring that have the manual mode with the paddle shifters. Now, the biggest thing that comes on this trim level that is not even optional on the other ones is the driver focus, driver distraction mitigation system. So you actually are able to, it has facial recognition properties using this infrared camera up here. It can actually recognize a driver and basically adjust their seating preferences as well as their side view mirrors. So mirrors now, on the sides at least, not this one, but the mirrors on the sides are actually linked to the driver's profile, which is super, super awesome. So when you get in, you actually have the ability, it'll be like, hello, Brendan, and we'll move the seat to exactly where you want it. It'll show your cool little icon. If you guys want more information on that feature, we did a whole video on exactly how to set that up and everything. And it also is going to monitor to make sure that you're paying attention and actually keeping your eyes on the road. If you actually, look away for too long, it's going to start beeping at you and be like, hey, keep your eyes on the road. So we do have, like I said, though, the dual climate control. We've got the built-in navigation, the premium sound. I mean, there's nothing really you could add to this except for like, crossbars or, a bike rack or something like that. I mean, the Touring has no other option package. It's just the Touring. You pick your color, your interior color, and you're good to go. So this does have the same X mode system that we were looking at in the Limited and the Sport. So it has the snow and dirt, the deep snow and mud there. We are also in the back here. We've got the nice piano key with the satin chrome finish there on those cup holders. Just a huge attention to detail on this car. This one definitely goes above and beyond. And we do have the heated seats in the back, which is also a first with the USB outlet. So a couple of the trim levels have those USBs, but they do not have those heated seats back there, which is super nice. We've seen that in the Outbacks, in the higher trim levels previously, never in a Forester. So this is definitely, I used to say that the Forester was more of the sporty one, the Outback was more of the luxury one. And I still think that sort of reigns true in some sense. I think they could use probably some wood grain trim in here, but they're definitely narrowing that gap with this Touring Forester. This is very much, on par with an Outback Touring for sure. So this is definitely my favorite. I love all of the goodies in this car. Excellent fuel economy, excellent safety, excellent sound system. I mean, you can't ask for more. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys have liked what you saw today and found this video to be helpful. For more helpful videos like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel, and to check out our current inventory, visit us at groovesubaru.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time on Groove Subaru Today. Take care.